Hello everyone, I'm Black Marvin, a progressive psychedelic trance artist, a professional sound designer, and I'm also a teacher for electronic music production. Today, we're going to take a look at Molekules, Granular Sources for Faceplant by Fractal Sounds. For all my videos, I'm excited, but for this one, I'm excited even more because logically, if we're working with granular sources inside Faceplant, it means that Faceplant now has a granular generator, which is there's no words. It's more than awesome because, like always, when everything new comes up in the kilohearts world, it's something, but also something inside the kilohearts ecosystem. So, what I mean, now we have granular and we can make it interact with all the crazy stuff that's already around the kilohertz ecosystem. Anyway, if you're not familiar with the granular generator inside Faceplant yet, I made a video on the channel and it's a deep explanation of the granular generator for Faceplant. The link is in the description. I suggest you go watch that because it's going to make more sense. This video is going to make more sense if you're familiar with the granular generator. Molekules for Faceplant. What this is, it's 200 sources for the granular generator. I know I'm saying granular a lot, but it's kind of the new thing now, so it's hard not to say it. But what these sources have in common is that they are audio sources, but they have been specifically made to be used in the granular synthesis context. You can use any sound and throw it in the granular generator and have fun. That's what's really cool. But the ones in Molekules, I'm not saying they wouldn't be good as regular samples, but they have been designed just for that use. And there's specific stuff that makes a source good for granular. There's certain qualities that is kind of bound to make good result when you're using them in that context. I'm going to make a video soon on what makes a good granular synthesis sources. It's going to be for later, so stay tuned for that. And by the way, why not, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment. It's going to help. And there's a lot of good stuff concerning granular synthesis in Faceplant coming up soon. And that's pretty much the guidelines for today. Molekules, it's out now. The link is in the description. If you want to grab the pack, it links directly into Faceplant, and you're going to see also how to install it. And now let's dive into these granular sources for Faceplant right now. Here we are inside Faceplant, and we're going to start with the installation process. First, we're going to go and take this .bank file, which is what you would have guessed. It's the bank file. So you get it here, you drag it over Faceplant and you drop it, and you're going to get this. And yeah, you want to install it, so you're going to get OK. And now it will show inside Faceplant as a granular source. You're going to go here, select granular generator, here, and it should appear here as Molekules, granular sources. And we have all these folders here, and we're going to take a look at each of them. Let's start with chaotic crystal texture. You will see that each sound of one folder, they all are going to sound a bit similar. They all have similar qualities and a similar theme to them. Chaotic crystal textures is somewhat of it's like a blast, a textural blast of glassy type synth. And it sounds like this. Some of these have been showcased in my video on Faceplant granular synthesis. If you have not watched it yet, I suggest you do, because it's going to help you understand more about what is going on here. And I'm going to cycle through a couple of these, and you'll get a good idea of how they sound. And what's really cool about these is that just by sweeping them, you already get something nice going on. I think I'm going to add a delay just for fun, and it's going to help preview. And also, that's how I suggest you use them. You get a delay, a bit of reverb, and maybe a bit of filtering, and then you're good to go to a celestial space. So I pulled a multipass here, just going to get a delay 3/16, like preset of mine. Nothing too fancy here. And, just a bit of reverb maybe. And I always dragging my reverbs inside multipass because I can control the sort of low end and top end of the reverb. Yeah, I can get a bit of a cleaner result. Now it sounds like this. Great, now let's cycle through the chaotic crystal textures. I think that gives you a good idea of how these sound. Like I said, they are some sort of textural blast of really sharp and glassy synths. There's more of these, but I think you get the point. We'll go over to crystalline echoes. These are a bit different. The echoes here, we're still in a similar realm, but yeah, the technique used to generate these is different. The theme is a bit different. You'll see. Let's take a look at these. So the crystalline echoes, they're less glassy, they're less plucky, but there's still an echo theme to it, delay theme to it. You're not going to feel the delay like a regular delay, really not actually. It's in the sources, but it helps create more complex texture having those delayed echoes. And so far, you can know that I'm only just playing the 4 grains and I'm just sweeping through, but eventually I will show some synthesis techniques on this channel and how you can use these. I think I'm gonna do a stream actually because it's just, like this would make such a long video. So in this video, I'm gonna really focus on showcasing the content of the pack, and I'm gonna do a stream on how to use the pack. Now to the Foley Hits. I'm really going like in an alphabetical order. Foley Hits, these are hits of different objects. I think for this one, I will have to show how to use it because you could be like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but how this, how can we use it? I'm going to show you 2 techniques, like really just a small version of these techniques, but there's going to be some kind of a reverse effects. And there's going to be some, what I call like generative seeds or rhythmic granular seeds. First, let's start with the reverse. So let's start with this wood hit 02. That's what it is. That's a wood hit. There's many stuff we can do, but, and just if we play it like this, you can see that it does have some percussive capabilities. We could do some sort of like, almost it sounds like a djembe rhythm or just like a percussive rhythm. We could also take advantage, like anytime you get something that is some sort of hit, if we play it here and we source our grains here, we can kind of take advantage of the reverse or the decay aspect of it. You'll see. So it's great for cinematic effect. That's really how I would use it. Aside from the percussive side of things. That's the other technique I wanted to show. So in this case, I will get a sync. So I want something that is mathematical, and I would do something like this. Honestly, already that sounds fine. And there's many stuff we can do. We can filter that, but I think one of the most obvious thing is to put a resonator on there. And just for the resonator, we can put a note modulator. We're gonna link that here, and then we should get something that is a bit like a resonated percussion. But yeah, that's really just scratching the surface. You can use that as more of an effect or as a percussive element. Now, moving on to nocturnal sources, you'd be like what is this? What is a nocturnal? What is it like night? But yeah, basically, these have very specific uses. You can use them for everything, but like I said, again, each of the folders have a theme. This one would be pads. It's definitely a pad maker. So let's grab nocturnal source 07, or actually any of them. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to turn that into a pad. I'm going to go into density mode again because I want something sustained. So this is how it sounds. So if you've watched my video on granular synthesis, I show how to do that, but I'm going to show it again quickly. So we're getting something that sounds synthetic, doesn't sound really real or true or organic. So we're going to put more position randomness here and also timing, and already just that. And we'll bring more attack and more release. And just with these manipulations, we should get something that is more like a pad or an atmosphere. So I played a couple of these, and the word nocturnal is from the word night. So it kind of implies that all of these will make very good dark atmospheres. They're kind of dark atmospheres ready. So yeah, that's pretty much what you'll find in all of these. It's very inclined to work a bit of a industrial, darky night atmosphere. And also something I want to talk about, each of these sources, they have all this frequency spectrum. What I mean is these are not high pass, these are not low pass. They have been EQ'd, of course, to take back some resonance notches and make clean sources, but we preserve the low end and the top end because maybe the user will want to do something with the low information or the top information. If you don't necessarily want to do that, what you can do on each of the sources is get a filter, and I would recommend getting a filter at the source. You can have one here, but why not just filter at the source if you don't want the too much low information because you fear it's going to be muddy. You can get that here and listen how it sounds now. Man, that's an eerie feeling. That's if I'd be doing music for horror film, I'd use this for sure. So yeah, that was a bit of a side note concerning the EQ and the full preservation of the spectrum. I say that because, you know, maybe someone would want to make some kind of sequence. Okay, so yeah, I was kind of refraining from doing too much synthesis because I don't want this video to be too long, but you know what? Let's just do something real quick. So I'm gonna get a source that has a lot of low-end information. You know what? I think this one will do. I'm gonna duplicate the filter, I'm gonna get a low shelf, and I'm gonna bring even more low-end information. And I can get an LFO. I'm gonna get a curve real quick. In my user curve, I have some kind of sequence here. And we're gonna do a sequence here on the filter. Let's hear how it sounds. Oh, that must be fast a bit. So I'm gonna get 1616. Okay, so I feel a little bit, and now I have a LFO curve that I like, and that's the final result. And we could also just get the gain all the way down and sequence that also in volume, so it's not just in filter. Yeah, that's a super small demonstration, but that I could expand that into a full preset. But one of the advantage also to have like folders with similar themed sounds is, you know, let's say I like the vibe, like the dark cinematic vibe of this one, but I want to maybe try to swap it for other, just, you know, similar but different. That's why it's cool to have like a folder full of these, because I can try the whole settings I have right now, but with other sources. So for example, I would prefer this one compared to the other one for that specific use. But yeah, that's how you can, you know, make good use of the fact that these sources are in folders like this. Enough of the nocturnal sources. Now it's time for synth morphers. Synth morphers, there's 10 of them, and they are synths morphing. But really that's kind of what it is, and these would be more for classic synth lead uses, but you'll see that these have morphing you know, these have morphing qualities to them. So I'm back with synth morpher 1. You can see that I don't have any of the sequencing anymore, no filters. It's just like, well, I'm gonna recalibrate the attack like this, and yeah, we can preview how this sounds. This could go for either a lead or a pad, actually. Let's try other ones. I'm not gonna lie, these are a bit inclined towards the psytrance use, or, you know, those kind of freaky lead uses. That's the personality of this folder, but also I'm working on Another sources pack, but this one will be strictly for psytrance. So all of the sources are really going to be psytrance friendly, but this one kind of has a bit of those properties. Now, synth sources, there's a bunch of sources that have been sourced from synths. This again, there was a user that commented on my first video, and his reaction was, well, yeah, I'm going to paraphrase it, but I think I'm going to put it, on the screen. But it goes something like, I've seen some really cool sounds, but nobody made something musical with it. And I kind of, I understand what he means. But for sure, like, since it's new and everything, we're really, I guess, everybody daring to demonstrate that. We go with the more freaky stuff and the crazy granular stuff. But yeah, we have a folder like this for more classic use, or just if you want to do something with the granular synthesis technique, but that is still not too freaky and not just like a balls of sound bouncing everywhere. So for example, there's some saw waves here. So 65 files of synths. Yeah, some acid sounding synths like this. I really like this one. I think I already made a preset with it, so we get some kind of acid atmosphere, or again, lead. I'm gonna show you some technique in the stream very soon about some kind of lead sweeps that we can do with granular sources. But basically, that's what this folder is. It's for a bit of a more, I would say, sober granular synthesis, not like nothing too crazy in terms of sound, but you're still getting some of the benefits of the granular synthesis. And if you want it to sound very like synthy, those synth vibes, there's the synth sources folder for that. And textural sources now. To summarize the synth sources folder, it's really something that is more like sober granular synthesis, more not like balls of light or crazy grains. Crazy grains. Yeah, that's pretty much what the synth source is about. Now, textural sources. These are textures. I'm not going to demonstrate them extensively in this video. We're going to listen to them for sure, but because the techniques kind of resemble what we did with the Foley Hits. But there's, it's really going to be for textural soundscapes, like atonal soundscapes. And also you can do some nice percussive stuff with that. There's a lot of possibilities, but so far, let's just hear how they sound. That's a grain of salt. I'm gonna disengage the delay also for that. And it's really what you would think this is. This is salt. Apocalyptical chips bag. Controller swing. So if you're a psytrance producer, you probably see some potential for like just filtering this and making this some kind of zappy squeaks. Eggshells. Let it snow. Maurice the cat's second toy. It's toys from my cat Maurice. And these are some kind of bellish, super small bells. In French, it's called grelot. Maurice the cat's toy. That's another toy. I'm kind of afraid that I'm gonna kind of call him awake. He's sleeping now and leaving me alone, but I'm kind of afraid now that he's coming. Pills. And finally, salt. So this is salt again. It's just a different take, different approach, but it's still it's grain of salt too, so it tastes the same. Okay, I'm gonna skip vocal melodies for now, and we're gonna finish with this one because this one is one of the most complex folder here. There's vocal sustained sources. These are vocals from a vocalist, but they have been treated a certain way to make them really good for granular synthesis. Of course, you can just take voice, someone's voice, and you get a nice result, but these have been tuned and treated in a specific way that they're gonna give you like steady grains in terms of pitch and textures. Yeah, we've done something specific to them, but you have different vowels. There's A, there's some multi-vowels. I think for these we can cycle through them quickly. And you can see that when you load them, they are already properly tuned to what they should be. So that's really cool. You don't have to do anything. So these are really cool. I'm gonna make a specific video on how you can create some nice vocal soundscapes, because the thing with Granular is like it can go in many directions, either like some spiky sounds or some more organic vocal pads. And there's some stuff you can do to really make it like a soft vocal pad. And I'm gonna make a video on that. We're gonna expand on that matter. Last but not the least, the vocal melodies. They are the most powerful samples sources in there for multiple reasons. These are multiple notes from a vocalist. Let's take this one, for example. 7's a lucky number. That's really cool. So in order to use these, there's many stuff you can do. again, it's like I'm creating this video and I'm constantly like reframing myself because this could go in so many directions. You need to be aware and understand the concept of tuning and notes in order to use them properly. You need to have a good ear. That's the only thing. From all these, they are, a lot of them are plug and play, you get nice result. These are, like I said, very powerful, but with power comes responsibility. So you need a bit of more of an understanding of music in general. I'm going to show you how you can use these in a very cool way. So this is going to help to preview in context. So I have my vocal and I have my kick. Now, the reason why I have a kick is I really want to be able to sequence the LFO and sequence the progression properly. I'm going to get an LFO, and this is going to go over, I think, 16, and I'm going to progress through that. I really want to have it in unipolar, and technically it should go all the way, or almost all the way. And now if I play it, it's going to progress through the vocal melody over time. Now we're going to sequence it so it travels through the different points, and we're not a slave to the original sample. We can do pretty much what we want right now. Something like this. Just gonna raise the note a bit because it sounds like a troll. Now I'm just back at it. So first I'm just finding some proper points that I like. So I think I'm gonna go for not necessarily a full loop, but this is something that we hear sometimes in trance. And I'm gonna maybe get the net a bit higher. Great, so I like it so far. It's very dry, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go here in Snap Heap. I'm gonna get a preset that I have that is called, I'm working on a pack called Storm, and there's going to be a lot of stuff, but in Storm there's gates for Snap Heap that you can use. So yeah, more on that, but basically just understand that we created a gate a bit like similar to what we did with the LFO and the gain, but instead it's like everything is inside one Snap Heap preset, so it's kind of easier to work with. So now we have this gate. It's maybe try this one. I think this one will do now. Let's bring in some delay. Okay, a bit more delay. Some reverb too. That's a reverb we had from the beginning. And now I can just swap in gates. I could have also just sequenced it myself. Yes, that's what I meant. Now, when I said that you need a bit of a good musical understanding, is that, it's hard to write the tuning on these because they are melodies. And, depending which note you're going to hit on the keyboard, well, it's going to be a different note. So that's why you need to know a bit which note you want to use, recognize these. But if you're a bit new, you can use a tuner. It's going to help you. So I brought FL Studio Tuner here, and now I can know which note I'm currently using. Now I know that there's some A and B involved. Now, if you're not sure with the tuner and you just want to verify that, are these notes in the scale I'm writing my song currently, are these the notes I really want? You can use, that's new tone. I'm using the trial version because I don't own it, but there's Melodyne, there's Auto-Tune. It's really that kind of plugin. But I wanted to show it with one. So you have this right here. It's basically, I loaded up the recording of that super small sample that we created. And now I know that the note is in A and there's some B involved, pretty much like the tuner showed. But, if you're new to this and you want to really get, not a professional's opinion, but you really want to have a visual confirmation of everything, you can use that technique too. And that's it for the Molekules overview. If you feel you still need more info on this, check out on the channel. There's going to be a stream where, it's more like that, but applied to real context and real preset creation. You'll see how you can get the best of it. And that's it for this video. Faceplant, it always been one of my favorite synths, but I think with this update now, it really locked its place as my favorite synth. And you also can deduce one thing is that the guys at Kilohearts, they're not even done updating it. In a sense, there's going to be new updates. It's going to be new stuff added. But really, Granular inside Faceplant, that was sort of the missing piece for the puzzle because there's so many things we can do on the Granular synthesis. Stay tuned on this channel because there's multiple videos I'm going to do on that. Man, it's crazy because we can take so many directions. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of infos coming your way. If you need some help with learning electronic music production, granular synthesis, sound design, all that kind of stuff, I have a community of students that I run. And there's some one-to-one lessons, some group lessons, a lot of educational content. If you're interested, you can come and write to me on Instagram and we can discuss how we can help you become a better producer. And that's pretty much it for now. And like George from Kilohearts said, I think you should clear the next 14 days of your agenda because with the Granular generator and Molekules for Faceplant, there's a lot of fun to have, a lot of experiment to do. So I will see you and wish you happy producing and happy experimentation in your lab. See you soon.